Boys ready? You ready? Hey. No. Sit. Good boy. Stay. Bye, buddy. I'll be right back. Don't worry. I'll be back. Bentley. Sit. Good boy. Look at me. Eyes. Bentley. Eyes. Stay. Good boy. Stay. Or not. Okay, that's cool too. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another crazy episode of Beast Like Bentley. What do you see? There's so much nature out here. He just has so much fun. Hi, boy. So we get asked a lot how many times we take our dogs for a walk. We take them for a walk 3 times a day. Typically it lasts a good, maybe like 10 minutes every time. Wow, so many cars today. If we have any plant lovers, you might recognize this. And this plant we just have growing at the drain. They're pretty much everywhere. They're really cool looking though. I mean, they're like huge. Is that where you're gonna poop, buddy? That's where he's gonna poop. Nice. So this is our typical route. We change it up here and there. We might go to a different place or a different direction, but we like to stick with the same route just so that they're familiar in case anything like out of the ordinary happens. They know like, okay, this is the route, this is what we do, this is the spots that we hit. And it just makes the flow of everything much easier just in case something happens. Like I have no idea, but I'm always a huge worrier. I'm big on always having a plan, an emergency plan just in case. I guess that's the military in me. Oh boy. More big leaves, more big leaves. So this is our morning stroll. On today's episode, we're gonna be talking about dog food. Now this is a huge topic that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. I'm not gonna dive into raw feed diet because we're just gonna be that's gonna be a really long talk, and I wanna spend a good time talking about raw feed on a whole separate video. But today, we are gonna be discussing Taste of the Wild, what our experiences are with it, little things that we've noticed. So let me finish walking Bentley here. I'm gonna grab Kilo, bring him out, and then we are gonna have some breakfast, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Who's hungry? Are we hungry? Come. All right, so we have 2 different types of food that we've had Bentley and Kilo on for a while now. I want to talk about what we were doing first. Is we had Taste of the Wild, the Pacific Stream, which is just salmon based. And what we noticed with this one is that they pooped a lot more. And by a lot more, I mean like at least 4 times a day. And it was a big amount. And when your dogs poop that much, it means that they're not digesting the food that well, and maybe the fat or the protein content is just too high and it's not agreeing with their stomach. And so we got venison here, which is awesome that we found in Malaysia, and happy that they got it. And we've noticed that their poop has reduced significantly, which is great. And then you'll actually notice that on the nutrition, or like the recommendations for the venison versus the Pacific Stream, you actually have to give them less of the venison versus the salmon. So their recommended dosage per day is 300 grams for their weight class. So for the morning, we're gonna give them 150 grams. And the evening, of course, another 150. Now, one thing to remember is when you're giving your dog either a fish or chicken formula, they're going to maintain their weight. Whereas if you feed them with red meat, such as venison or beef, they're actually going to gain weight. So for the longest time, we've been trying to get Bentley to gain weight. And so we saw the venison and we're like, heck yeah. And we're hoping he'll gain some weight with it. Oh, a little too much, but oh well. Here we go. So if your dog is drinking a ton of water, that's normal for kibble because it's like very salty. And so they do drink a lot of water with that. So always have a good amount of water with them. Hold on, boys. Daddy's gonna get you water. And the main reason why I'm bringing up the water is because we had them on a barf diet for a long time, and they would only drink, what, like half of this, I think? And this is 64 ounces. This is a lot of water. When they're on kibble, they drink minimum 2 of these a day, which is insane. And when we had Bentley as a puppy and we were giving him kibble, he was drinking a lot of water and we thought like something was wrong with him. But really it's just the kibble and how salty it is. And so that's a whole different topic. That's a whole nother video that we're gonna talk about with the barf. Bentley, come. Good boy. Bentley, 6. 6. Yes, good boy. Look at me. Eyes. Are we ready? Okay, eat. So there's a lot of things that we've noticed a difference between feeding them raw feed versus kibble. The first big thing that we notice is obviously their poop. When they're on raw feed, they poop is very little. Like we're talking maybe once or twice a day, and it's a small amount of poop. Whereas kibble, they're pooping 3 to 4 times a day, and it's a very large amount. And so this automatically tells us that they're not digesting all of the food they're eating. So you're basically wasting a lot of your money on the kibble. The reason why people like kibble more is 1, because it's affordable, and 2, because it expands and keeps them fuller for a longer period of time. But one thing that we've noticed is Kilo sheds a lot more when he's on kibble versus raw feed. And raw feed helps a lot with their fur. If they have any skin issues, it makes their coat much shinier and it reduces their shedding. And so we don't like kibble, but we want Bentley and Kilo to gain a little bit of weight. Plus it is okay to give them some kibble for, you know, get them on and off of kibble and raw feed just to get some different nutrients inside them. But for overall long term, it's always gonna be raw feed for us, hands down. And like I said, that's a whole nother video that we're gonna cover. So make sure you have your pen and paper for that, because there's a lot of information. But this is why I don't like kibble, is because it's super salty. They poop a lot more. What you doing, Kilo? They poop a lot more and they shed a ton. So it does make you wonder why or what is in kibble that's making them like this. But like I said at the beginning, for this particular reason, we're giving them venison so that they can gain more weight. So when it comes to kibble, you don't have to choose the dog food that we're using for our dogs or what other people are using. It is a trial and error. Some dogs like different brands, they like different formulas. They have a really good sense of which food they like. And so we recommend starting with a very small amount first. Get a sample packet, try them out, and then that way you're not wasting a ton of money on a huge bag of food that we have. But we already know that they both like Taste of the Wild a lot, so we're fine with that. Key, come here. Bentley, come. Sit. Good boy. Key, come. Yes. Sit. Good boy. Stay. Stay. Oh, you missed it. Here you go, Key. All right, guys, that's it for our video. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any comments, questions, concerns about kibble. Leave them down in the comment section below and we'll answer your questions. Thanks. Peace.
finish him.
Bentley, you want to finish his food? You want his food? Okay, eat.